In a desperate bid to evacuate troops to the other side of the river, Russian engineers have scrambled to build pontoon crossings. A Russian military column was wiped out in a devastating drone attack in the Kursk region, leaving many dead. The convoy was transporting equipment to help build pontoon bridges across the river seam, where up to 3,000 Russian troops are believed to be cut off and facing encirclement. Ukraine has taken out 3 main bridges over the river in the last week or so, as it presses home its attack on Russian territory. Russian engineers have scrambled to build pontoon crossings. However, these are particularly vulnerable to rocket and drone attacks by Ukraine's army. A video shot by a local resident and posted to the Telegram channel Belgorod People's Republic shows the aftermath of a drone strike on the convoy, and images show burnt-out and abandoned vehicles scattered along a road close to the village of Zavanoy. More images shot by a Ukrainian drone show vehicles ablaze on the road in the immediate aftermath of the attack. The pontoon bridges are being pounded hard. 5 vehicles have burned. In any case, there are victims, but they are keeping quiet. We have everything under control, said the author of the first video clip. Ukrainian forces have regularly hit Russian military columns in Kursk as the Kremlin rushes reinforcements to the area. Kyiv's military supremo General Alexander Syrsky claims Putin's army has redeployed up to 30,000 troops from other parts of the front lines to try and repel the incursion. Analysts at the U.S. think tank the Institute for the Study of War estimate the Kremlin will need at least 60,000 soldiers to retake lost territory. Most of the troops do not appear to have been taken from the Eastern Front, where Ukraine faces a desperate fight to hang on to the strategically important city of Pokrovsk. The eastern city is a vital transport hub, one of 2 key rail and road junctions in the Donetsk region. Its capture would threaten the entire region's logistics for Kyiv's military, according to Frontelligence Insight, a Ukrainian analytical group. Russia suffered losses and was forced to retreat after attempting to advance in the embattled front-line town of Vovchansk in Ukraine's northeast, Kyiv's military said Thursday. In Vovchansk, in preparation for assault operations, the enemy attempted to deliver personnel to the central part of the city, using 2 tanks and 2 MTLB armored fighting vehicles. They suffered losses and retreated, the Kharkiv Operational Tactical Group said in a statement posted to its Telegram channel. The Kharkiv group of forces didn't elaborate on Russia's troop losses. Heavy clashes are underway in the war-ravaged Kharkiv region town, which had a pre-war population of 17,000. The Kremlin's forces kick-started an offensive in the Kharkiv region on May 10th, seizing a number of villages on Ukraine's northeastern frontier and forcing thousands of civilians to flee. But Ukraine soon said that Russia's push in the region had failed, and that Moscow had suffered high troops losses. The Institute for the Study of War, a US-based think tank, said in its latest analysis of the conflict in Ukraine on Thursday that fighting continued north of Kharkiv city near Lipsy and Haliboke and northeast of Kharkiv city in Vovchansk, but there were no confirmed changes to the front line. The spokesperson of a Ukrainian brigade operating in the Kharkiv direction stated that Russian forces operating in this direction are conducting assaults without armored vehicle support, the ISW said. While Russia is also focusing its efforts in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region and is pushing toward the city of Pokrovsk. The Kremlin has been pushing for the total capture of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, which together comprise the Donbass, since Russia's initial invasion of eastern Ukraine in 2014. Pokrovsk is a key logistical hub for Ukrainian forces in the area. The ISW said Moscow is pursuing 2 immediate tactical efforts as part of an ongoing push operation to seize the city. The Russian military command likely views both of these tactical efforts as desired prerequisites for launching an intensified offensive effort against Pokrovsk itself, the think tank said. Meanwhile, The Washington Post examined over 130 photos and videos documenting the surrender of Russian troops since the offensive began on August 6. More than 240 Russian soldiers have been captured since the beginning of the Ukrainian incursion into the Kursk region. The newspaper examined over 130 photos and videos documenting the surrender of Russian troops since the offensive began on August 6. Most of the footage, filmed by Ukrainian forces and later shared on social media, shows at least 247 Russian soldiers in captivity. The videos, identifying key locations such as the village of Sverdlikovo near the Ukraine border, where 29 soldiers were captured, and the Sudza border crossing, where 40 more were taken prisoner. Ukrainian military sources also indicated that the number of prisoners could be in the hundreds. Footage from the Ukrainian military shows that some of the captured soldiers are conscripts. A previous report from mid-August detailed a prison where captured Russian soldiers were held, while according to the prison's head, 320 Russian prisoners passed through the facility in the first 10 days of the Ukrainian offensive, with only 20% being professional soldiers, while the majority were conscripts. On Ukraine's 33rd Independence Day, August 24, 115 Ukrainian soldiers were released from Russian captivity and returned home. This marked the first exchange since the armed forces of Ukraine launched an offensive in the Kursk region and the 55th exchange overall. This offensive has captured hundreds of enemy soldiers in one of Russia's worst defeats of the war. The Ukrainian government has been tight-lipped about operational details. Still, senior officials said Russian soldiers taken into Ukrainian custody over the past 10 days number at least in the high hundreds. Unconfirmed Ukrainian soldier and media accounts have mostly placed the total number of Russian service personnel taken captive at between 1,000 and 2,000 men, with the figure climbing daily.
Выстрел!